Greetings, fellow subscribers. It's me, Johnny the Super Gamer Brothers, and for today's Let's Play, or I should not say today, it's going to last for a while. It's just going to be by myself this time because during our test runs of this game, Elliot was pretty mute during the conversation. He didn't really have much to say, and I certainly can't blame him for that because he really hasn't played this game at all. And he's more into he's really more into getting his Crash 3 Let's Play done anyway. I think he's looking more forward to that than this game. But anyway, you might be noticing that this is not Symphony of the Night for the PlayStation. Nope, this is Nocturne in the Moonlight for the Sega Saturn. That's right, I am playing the Saturn version of Symphony of the Night, and I figured, why not? I just ordered the damn game from PlayAsia.com. I just got it. I'm going to play it for the first time ever on my Saturn, using my Pro Action Replay to play import games. It's awesome. I recommend you get it in case you want to get all the good games for the Saturn. But enough dawdling about that. We're going to press start, and we're going to get started. Now, well, hold on. Let me enter my name here first. Let me see. J-O-H-N. Alright. Now, you guys, in case you're not familiar with what the Saturn version has over the PlayStation version, here's the one immediate difference right now. You can choose to play either as Alucard, Richter, or Maria from the start. In the PlayStation version, you have to beat the game in order to at least play as Richter, but Maria is completely absent in the PlayStation version. The Saturn exclusive is playing as Maria, and she's freaking ridiculous. But if I ever get to a Maria playthrough, I'll show you why. But for now, we're just going to stick to Alucard. Now, throughout the playthrough, I'll try to spot as many differences as I can between the two versions because I have played the PlayStation version to death. I'm only had a little bit of experience with the Saturn version, so I could be more prone to screwing up in this version. And okay, right now we already got our immediate difference between the Saturn and PlayStation version. This cutscene is really low quality compared to the PlayStation version. In fact, it doesn't even fill up the entire screen, as you might notice. And wow. That's pretty bad. Well, a lot of people know that the Saturn version was more of a 2D powerhouse anyway. And the game is 2D. It does have 3D backgrounds in some areas, but overall, the Saturn, yeah, was an incredibly 2D powerhouse. And hopefully, I'll get some more games for it later on to showcase that. But as for now, this 3D cutscene isn't really doing much to help. But I actually think this is actually a compressed movie file. That's why it looks so grainy and choppy. And we are looking at Dracula's castle at the very top of the room. The Symphony of the Night is actually a sequel to the game Rondo of Blood, which was initially a Japan-only release. You can get it now pretty easily on the Virtual Console or the PSP game. And the game begins with the final stage of that game. Only Richter is a lot more well-equipped and has a lot more abilities they didn't have in the previous game, so it's kind of misleading. This is why it says Final Stage, Rondo of Blood. In the translated version, it says Bloodlines, which is completely misleading, because it's not related to the Genesis game whatsoever. And I'm just going to speed my way through here, and okay. He doesn't do that in the PlayStation version, however, I can't candle. Alright, now since we're playing the Japanese version, we have the Japanese dialogue. We don't have the incredibly narmy as hell English dialogue. So to make up for that fact, I will try and act out as many lines as I can. And if I'm raping your ears, then please turn down the volume. I'm sorry. I'm already kind of in the dialogue. Yeah, I think this is during the tribute line. Okay, I'll just start from where Dracula is. Perhaps the same could be said of all religions. Alright, yeah, Japanese dialogue is a lot longer than the English dialogue. Your words are as empty as your soul. Mankind ill needs a savior such as you. What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets. But enough talk. Have at you. Of course, it doesn't say it like that. Okay, I'm gonna take the newish batter. Holy water your ass. Hydro storm, bitch. Yeah! Motherfucker. That transformation sequence looks a lot better on the PlayStation version, by the way. Yeah, you stand no chance, you bitch. Hydro water. Holy water, I mean. Oh, you trying to jump on me, huh? Yeah, you stand no chance. Now, actually, this sequence is not just for, reenacting the final scene, but this also will determine Alucard's beginning stats when you beat him. If you beat him fast enough, Alucard will have pretty good stats when he first starts off. But I think the best way to get the best stats for Alucard is to not use any hearts at all, which I obviously failed at because I used Hydro Storm. And technically, personally, I never actually managed to get Alucard's best stats. I can beat the battle fast enough, but I gotta use hearts. After a series of epic battles, Richter Belmont finally succeeded in destroying Count Dracula, the ancient vampire who had been most recently resurrected by the Dark Priest. However, one night, 4 years later, under the bright glare of the moon, Richter mysteriously vanished. With no idea of where to begin her search, Maria Renard set out to look for him. It was then that fate intervened. Castlevania, the castle of Dracula, which is rumored to appear only once every century, suddenly and mysteriously materialized. Meanwhile, powerful forces were at work in the life of a man named Alucard, the very same Alucard who had previously teamed up with Ralph C. Belmont, Trevor in English, to destroy his immortal father, Vlad Tepes, aka Count Dracula. No duh. Alucard, in order to rid the world of his own cursed bloodline, sealed off his powers and entered what was supposed to be an eternal slumber. But now, that sleep has been disturbed, and Alucard is aware of that evil that has once again arisen in his homeland. This time has come for one... Let me repeat that again. Sorry, this script is terrible. The time has come once more for the forces of good and evil to engage in their ancient battle. Dracula's castle beckons for you, ellipses. And perhaps none but that bright and glaring moon can say who will triumph. Yeah, it's pretty... It's not really a well-constructed paragraph. It's actually a little... It's actually rewritten in the English version. There's no voiceover, though. I was speaking over the dialogue. But there actually is a voiceover in the Japanese version. The English version is completely absent unless you're playing the PSP version. And it says Dracula X, which is what the game is called in Japan. And it says Castlevania in the English version. And now we begin our real playthrough. And now we want to notice one of the immediate differences in the Saturn version is the load times are slightly longer than the PS1 version. And we open with trees moving on incredibly fast, right? I wonder why. Oh, it's Alucard. And ladies and gentlemen, he actually cannot run that fast in the actual game. It's kind of misleading. It kind of pisses me off. But we will be getting to that kind of speed later on. Not by running on foot. And that's awesome. That's also a little slowdown right there. Actually, you know what? I'm going to press start for a second because I need to change something. I'm using the Saturn controller. It's a bit different than the PlayStation controller, and I do have to rearrange a button here or two because it's a little hard to get used to. I'm going to change the dash button from the R button to the Y button, and I'm going to change the Y button to the R button. This is the way I can use the dash maneuver to travel faster, because Alucard has a dash maneuver. It is supposed to help you like avoid attacks, but you can actually abuse it to travel faster than you would on foot. And I need that mapped to the Y button so I can easily access it, because the Saturn's R trigger button is a little unresponsive. But that's just the controller design. It's not much of the... it's not like there's anything bad with it. I'm using the default D-pad controller for the Saturn. I'm not using the analog stick, because I'd rather have a D-pad for this game than using an analog stick. Level up! Alright, we're in the first area of the game. We're in Dracula's castle, and we already begin with kick-ass music. I love this game's soundtrack. This game's soundtrack is incredible. Even for, Castlevania games, it's a given that the soundtrack's gonna be awesome, but this game's soundtrack is just badass. And I'm going to spend a little time here. I always like to farm for mermans here to gain at least 3 levels. I'm going to do that for a second here. And you know what? I don't want to warn you guys with all this, so I'll be right back as soon as I gain the 3rd level. Alright, we're back. I just killed that last merman to get the final level up that I wanted, so now we can continue on. You may have noticed that I've been killing enemies mostly with just 1 hit. It's actually because Alucard starts off with of his very strong equipment. It's not the best equipment he can get, but it's pretty damn strong. And you start to think that this would be too easy if I start this strong. Nope, and that's why death is here. Ah, Alucard, what brings you here? Question mark. I've come to destroy this castle. Still befriending mortals. I'll not ask you to return to our side, but I demand you cease your attack. I will not. You shall regret those words. We will meet again. Hey, what's that over there? What? Bitch! And death just took all of our shit. Ugh.